I was just introducing you, Alice, that you are also a rapid transformational therapy practitioner, and you are a mother of 2 years, beautiful girl. That you agreed to come here and talk about your experience and how our session, working on your subconscious mind, help you to overcome that post-cesarean experience you had. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I live in Australia, in Byron Bay, with my husband and my 2-year-old daughter. I'm currently pregnant with my second child, so that's really exciting. I grew up in a multicultural background. My dad is French and my mom is Balinese. I speak 4 languages. I love traveling, all the benefits that come from having these 2 backgrounds.
I want to actually help people to understand how working with subconscious mind work, how dealing with subconscious mind can help heal that some wounds, right, from our childhood that we are not even aware sometimes. What was the situation, that presenting problem you had the day that you've decided, okay, I'm gonna talk with Natalia and let's do the session?
It was around the birth of my daughter, Elena. So she was born in July of 2021. And let's just say I didn't have the best birth experience. I didn't feel supported, or I didn't feel like I had a voice. I was born by cesarean, although I had a deep wish of a natural birth. When I came to you, I was already 6 months postpartum, and I would still feel a huge sadness in my heart. I just couldn't talk about the birth experience. I was really getting upset and tearing up, and it was just really difficult.
What does that mean for you, that big sadness and the cesarean birth?
It took me a while to process it. Like even today with my second child on the way, you know, more things have come up. It is a journey. I just felt helpless. I felt like a failure. I couldn't even say I gave birth. I was like, no, you didn't. You had an operation. You didn't give birth. I just felt unworthy. I just had these really negative feelings about myself and about the birth experience, and I completely lost confidence in my ability, in my body.
What then happened during the session?
When I came to you, I didn't even know what I wanted to work on. You can't come back and redo the whole experience for me. Like I can't go back and change the birth experience. So I had no idea how you were going to help me. Just needed to try something. You guided me through hypnosis, through memories from the past that were linked to this sadness. And I think by the 3rd memory, the core memory came up, which was from when I was 15 years old. And my parents had divorced. And my dad basically took me and my brothers back to France while leaving my mother behind in Indonesia. And that same feeling of I don't have a choice, I don't have a voice, I'm completely hopeless and helpless, and this is so unfair. The same feelings that were so strong during the cesarean, the birth process, were linked to that core memory. And that was like a huge insight. Like it made sense as to why I felt those feelings, you know, 1,000 times stronger than probably anyone else would have. It was because it was linked to that painful childhood memory that I had never dealt with before.
How you made that shift from, because when you came to me, you really felt like, as you said, hopeless, that you failed your daughter, and what happened? How did you shift that? And what did you feel after the session?
And on one hand, we understand where the pain actually comes from. So for me, it was linked to that childhood memory. And then on the other hand, with the process that you led me through, we let go of that painful memory. And then you also helped me do a reframe around the whole birth experience. So instead of me looking at it as if I was a failure, you showed me a different perspective on on how actually maybe I did the bravest thing ever by doing that cesarean. So it was really empowering, and audio that I got to listen to for 21 days had just so much positivity and words around me finding my confidence back. The words in itself were really soothing. Listening to it over and over again, it just makes it your reality.
Mind, brain learns by repetition. So I remember that or maybe you wrote that in the intake form, that you want one day in the future have another baby, and right now you are, oh my God, it's so amazing.
This time I'm making sure that my voice is heard, that I have the choice that I want, and that I trust myself.
Make sure you are being heard. What does that mean for you?
This came up after more work on the childhood wound. The pattern that I noticed in myself was that because I grew up with a very authoritarian father, that I felt as a child that I didn't have a voice. I couldn't express how I felt. I had to always, obey to whatever his choices were. And so already as a child, I felt that I didn't have power through my voice. And so with my first experience with the birth, what happened was that the doctors were leading me to do the cesarean, and even though inside of me I was like, no, I don't think this is right, or I'm not sure, I'm not ready, I just shut down, and I just shut my voice, and I was just like, okay, well, it's an authority, and this authority means that I have to listen and obey. I talk about feeling disempowered, and it's not really the doctor's fault. It also came from me, from what I learned as a child, that I couldn't speak up. I felt that I didn't have a choice. But today, in this pregnancy, I'm choosing to say no. Quite frankly, like I've already been told to do extra scans for this pregnancy because of my last pregnancy, and I said no. Each pregnancy is different, and I am not going to repeat the same mistakes. And so this is how I feel more empowered, and how I'm making sure that my voice is heard, by having the ability to stand up for myself and to say, no, thank you. Reviewing the childhood event that had happened, to look at it now, no longer with the eyes of a 15-year-old, but, of a 32-year-old. Okay, that happened, and that was painful, but you're no longer in that situation. It's so liberating. Like, we're a puzzle, and every single time we pick a memory and we're able to let go of it, we become stronger. I honestly felt a before and after. I was now no longer feeling so upset and tearful every time someone would ask me how my daughter was born. I was able to own it. It no longer was painful as it was before the session. We say, oh, time will heal all wounds. And what I felt from doing that session was like, I'm taking this into my own hands. The moment I contacted you and I said, I need help with this sadness, that was already in itself empowering. I'm not just letting, time or whatever do its magic. I'm actually taking this into my own hands, and I'm going to do something about it. It's like when you contact a therapist, or when you are able to say, I think I need help, I think that's like the most beautiful gift that you can give to yourself.
Tell us a little bit more how you work today, how people can contact with you.
Becoming a mother and going through that birth experience, and just motherhood journey in general, has made me feel really want to connect with other mothers and help mothers in their motherhood journey to feel confident and to feel empowered, and to just have the best motherhood experience that they possibly can through RTT, through coaching. So everything that's got to do with, you know, mindset. As I joke with mothers, I'm not going to miraculously make your baby sleep through the night, and I'm not going to make the tantrums less loud, but what I can do is give you the tools, mindset, to have a different perspective. Mindset has a lot to do with how we feel in our motherhood journey. I've got a Facebook group called Motherhood Mindset that you can find in my link in my bio.